So I am not suggesting, I want to be very clear. Most people, I guess, are afraid that that's what we mean when we say AI writing. No, nobody's doing that. Well, really bad writers are doing that. We're not doing that. I wouldn't suggest that you rely on your dog to babysit the kids. But dogs are fabulous additions to the family and the workspace, right? They're police dogs and fire dogs and protection dogs and companion dogs. AI is a lot like a dog, and you need to know how to train it and you need to keep your eye on it. Really that simple. Don't let your dog write your novel. This is an AI enhanced writing process for all types of writers: screenwriters, novelists, technical, and even grant writers. By harnessing the power of AI, you will gain confidence, write faster, refine your style, and overcome obstacles like writer's block without losing your vision or your voice. So, hello, I'm Dawn Spinella. I'm a screenwriter, a grant writer, a filmmaker, and a tech junkie. I built my first computer and taught myself nonlinear editing when Premiere Pro first came out. It was a game changer. I've watched tech change the film industry in almost no time. So let's get started. What is AI? Well, simply put, it's a technology designed to mimic certain aspects of human intelligence, like understanding language and generating text. If you're a screenwriter, imagine having a brainstorming buddy who can quickly suggest fresh plot points and twists and turns, or get instant feedback. Novelists, think about getting assistance with character backstories or world building details. Technical writers, consider the benefit of a tool that swiftly reworks dense information into clear explanations. And for grant writers, envision a system that can help you refine your narrative, ensure your proposal aligns more closely with funding criteria. AI is not here to replace your unique voice or expertise. Instead, think of it as an assistant, a sounding board, a co-creator, or editorial assistant. Basically, a resource that can help you tackle the more tedious and time-consuming aspects of your work. People worry that AI might unintentionally reproduce copyrighted or proprietary text. However, reputable AI models are designed to avoid outputting large verbatim chunks of text from trading data. It's going to be much easier for you to plagiarize than it is for AI. So before we dig into my favorite tools and discuss how to integrate them into your writing process, allow me to cover the basics. Artificial intelligence is just simply an algorithm trained on huge amounts of text. It's called a language model, and programmers use books, articles, and online forums to help the program analyze patterns in that data. So the model learns how words fit together naturally. As a writer, this means you can prompt a language model to generate anything from a plot summary to a how-to guide, and it will produce text that is convincingly human. So you may have also heard about training data. This is the backbone of AI models. Essentially, the quality, diversity, and breadth of the text the model is exposed to will influence the quality of its output. AI does have limitations. AI does not think and therefore does not understand text the way we do. AI relies on patterns and data, and it lacks real-world context. It is not creative. It relies on you to create the final output. By grasping the basics, you'll be better equipped to pick the right tool, interpret its output, and guide it toward the kind of writing that you want to create. AI is efficient. It's high quality content with very little cost. It continues to evolve, improving with experience and text. Industry leaders rely on it to improve their production and bottom line, and so should you. And it's a game changer for everyone, especially us, and it's not going away. There are so many opportunities in the future. I see new AI tech every day, programs that can do so much. The problem with AI is that it is only as good as the resources available to it and the prompts you write, which we'll go into later. The solution: use high quality AI tools, check the work, don't believe everything you read, be the parent, and write good prompts. Let's talk about some practical tools that will supercharge your writing and organization process, no matter what kind of work you do. In the creation tools, I'm looking at ChatGPT versus Gemini or Bard. And then in the creation and writing, Pseudowrite versus Claude. Both of these, Chat and Gemini Bard, are versatile. They're easy to use. They have large language models that excel at brainstorming, generating outlines. They offer synonyms, adjectives, feedback. They provide alternate viewpoints. They expand information, offer first draft material, and so much more. Chat to me is the winner. The benefits here for writers is that, one, you can quickly overcome writer's block. You can jumpstart new projects, and you can experiment with different tones or styles. There is just no reason to stop working when you have something that is ready to give you feedback right now. In comparing the generating tools, Chat and Bard or Gemini, which Bard and Gemini is the same thing now. Chat, brainstorming ideas, generating initial drafts, summarizing research, suggesting outlines, often more flexible in creative writing contexts, and it's good at role-playing various writing styles. And for Chat, there's a free version and a paid version. Bard, very similar factual lookups, integrating with Google's search capabilities and delivering concise factual responses. There's no reason you can't use both and have Gemini working with your Google and use reference Chat for other purposes. Gemini is currently free and continuously evolving as Google refines its integration with search results. Of course, there's a paid version as well. As for the writing and creating, Chat can do this also, but Pseudowrite was created for this, and it's strictly for fiction writers. So Pseudowrite, specifically designed for fiction and creative writers, it does everything, suggests plot points, character details, it writes vivid descriptions. It really inspires creative elements, helps develop story arcs, and encourages experimentation with your narrative voice. Claude can do the same thing, but Pseudowrite was strictly designed for it. Pseudowrite, though, does have a larger learning curve. There's a lot going on in Pseudowrite. Claude is closer to a Chat and allows you to experiment more. In comparing Pseudowrite and Claude, again, Pseudowrite is designed primarily for creative fiction writers, novelists, short story writers. It helps brainstorm, generate creative text, rewrite scenes. It will help you overcome writer's block. Its user interface and features are built around Storycraft. It is not free, so you will have to pay, and you pay for a word count. For Claude, again, it's a general purpose text generation by Anthropic, and it generates and refines text in different genres, fictional and nonfiction, but it is not marketed solely for fiction. It can address a wide range of tasks: summarization, technical, research-oriented, creative brainstorming. It's strong at iterative Q&A and refining text based on your feedback. It's paid per token, similar to other language models. All right, so let's talk about productivity tools. We're going to discuss productivity or organization with Notion and Google, and then editing and refinement with Grammarly and ProWriting Aid. With Notion and Google, these are both great AI assistants that work directly in your writing workflow, like note-taking, organization, super important. These help keep the research, brainstorming, and drafting in one place for better organization and productivity. And then in the editing and refinement, with advanced grammar and style checkers that go beyond basic spell check. I can't imagine anybody isn't using Grammarly at this point. These are both efficient, they eliminate errors, and they improve readability. However, they're not always right. Notion is a built-in workspace tool. It can help outline projects, summarize meeting notes, reorganize drafts, or generate ideas right where you store your research and drafts. Super nice. It has seamless integration with a platform designed for organization and workflow, and that makes it great for managing large writing projects or teams. It is free for personal use, but there are paid plans. Google AI Plus AI, whatever. Look, it's already integrated into your Google Docs, and they continue to improve on everything. This continues, there's add-ons, BART integration, and this can help you research right inside your Google workspace. It's a familiar environment, free for basic use, easy collaboration, and a huge ecosystem of tools. Google Workspace starts free with a Gmail account. Business plans with more advanced features start around $6 per month. And they continually improve and roll out new features. To me, hands down, no comparison. I love Google. It just works. So for refinement, Grammarly checks spelling, punctuation, style, and tone, provides clarity on suggestions, and can integrate with browsers, Word, Google Docs, and email clients. Grammarly's okay. Sometimes if I have a large project that I want editing, I will pay for version for a month or two and use that. They also have like plagiarism check tools, but then I don't need it that often. So it's really for final steps in your project, right? And Grammarly is very user-friendly. It's good at spotting common errors, but it also suggests bad options and things that my human copy editors don't like. So I would be cautious about how I use it. There's a free version, of course, and then there's the paid version. Pro Writing Aid, it's similar. It has a style check, plus it has detailed reports on readability, pacing, and repeated words. It's kind of a more in-depth analysis tool. I haven't used Pro Writing Aid as much. I think that that's where I'll go next. I don't love Grammarly, so Pro Writing Aid's ideal for longer projects like novels or screenplays where you need to dig deep into the style and structure and watch for overused phrases. Pro Writing Aid, there is a free limited version, and of course, there's a paid version. You know what AI can offer. You might be wondering, how do I actually fold these tools into my writing process? So first, start small with low stakes tasks like brainstorming titles, generating character names, taglines, plot twists, outlining a chapter, developing a grant program narrative, enhancing a resume, or any number of smaller tasks. For a screenwriter, this might mean prompting the AI to suggest plot twists for Act 2. For a grant writer, you could ask for a summary of your proposal to see if it's landing as intended. The iterative approach, we use AI suggestions as rough outlines, then refine with our own voice. And balance. So know when to lean on AI for efficiency and when to rely on your own creativity and expertise. Ultimately, you'll always rely on your own creativity and expertise. So because we have very limited time today and it takes a while to go through this, I only really have time to address ChatGPT. Future videos will address the pseudo-write and Google Bard and all of that other great, amazing stuff. I think you'll get your fill with chat. Prompts for the AI enhanced writer. You need to craft effective prompts to get the best from AI tools such as ChatGPT. Prompting is about striking the right balance between detail and creativity. A well-crafted prompt is like a compass. If your prompt is too vague, AI might produce overly broad or unhelpful text. If your prompt is too narrow, you can miss the creative sparks. By giving clear instructions while leaving room for originality, you invite AI to generate text that feels both focused and creatively inspired. And then you can get your hands on it and do what you want with it. So key principles for crafting effective prompts. Clarity and specificity. The clearer your prompt, the more accurate and relevant the AI's responses. Let's take a look. Give it this simple prompt. Tell me a story. And it spits out a story of about 220 words. Pretty simple and not horrible at all. It has a through line. It's about a little girl who is learning a lesson. I mean, this is a great story if you've got kids and somebody just wants a bedtime story and you need to spit something out. In fact, I have a friend who do that with their child. She wanted a story about one of her dolls, and they had ChatGPT write up a story, and then they had the story to read her, create for her, and give it to her special for her and her doll. I thought that was adorable. Whenever she felt unsure, Mina held the shimmering shell to her ear. The distant giggling reminded her that beyond every horizon, new stories await those brave enough to seek them. And so, guided by the laughter of the sea, Mina's adventures continued, each day promising discovery and delight. So ChatGPT has given Mina a lesson. She's grown. This child has learned something throughout her 220 words. I have to say, not too shabby for a little story with no parameters. Let's say that I'm going to do something more in depth. Outline a 500-word story about a 12-year-old autistic detective who solves crimes using forensic science in a small rural town. All right, well, let's see what it has to say about that. It says it took the autistic detective story. It took about 7 seconds. The curious case of the missing antique locket. Introduction, approximately 50 words, setting the scene. A sleepy, tight-knit rural town called Willow Creek, surrounded by rolling hills and a single main street and an aging local library. Life is usually quiet, marked by friendly neighbors and minimal crime. Introduce Noah Dawson, 12-year-old autistic boy with a keen eye for detail, known around town for his fascination with forensic science, often carries a small notebook, camera, and forensic kit gifted by his grandfather. So it's given some really nice backstory. This is a great place for a writer to begin creating the story. All right. Inciting incident. The theft. Old Mrs. Brown reports her antique locket missing. The town's lone police officer, Deputy Harris, dismisses it as lost jewelry. Noah sees a chance to put his forensic skills to use. Noah's determination. We've got character traits. Noah becomes fixated on odd details others overlook. Eagerly takes the initiative to investigate with Mrs. Brown's permission. Again, great. Okay. Gives you something to work with. Gathering clues. The scene examination. Noah meticulously photographs Mrs. Brown's living room where the locket was last seen, notes a faint footprint on the dusty windowsill, collects a small strand of fabric snagged on a window latch. Already provided you with a bunch of clues. And of course, we could ask it to provide a whole list of clues that we could potentially use there if we didn't really like those, or come up with your own. All right, awesome. So you see that it's given inciting incident, gathering clues, overcoming social hurdles, which is really great. Forensic breakthrough. He uses a simple chemical test from his kit on the footprint dirt sample, discovers a unique fertilizer residue found only at the local greenhouse. Nice. Okay. Then he analyzes evidence further, narrowing the suspects, the confrontation, climax, and resolution. So you see, Chat is very skilled at understanding how a story's built. Revealing the thief, the town's reaction is Noah's triumph. Aftermath gives you that resolution as well. Not bad for a 500-word outline with very specific parameters. So let's give it another prompt here. And let's tell it, I'm writing a mystery novel set in Victorian London. Please suggest 3 possible suspects, each with a distinct motive related to stolen artifacts. So you see, I can take something I've already begun or that I'm working on specifically and start asking for information that I can fill things in on, right? Let's see what Chat has to say. Okay, and within 7 seconds, it tells me below are 3 possible suspects who each have a clear motive for selling or stealing valuable artifacts in the fog-shrouded alleys of Victorian London. All right, how fun. You can adapt their backgrounds and personalities to fit the particular tone of your novel. Excellent. Of course I can. We've got Lady Winifred. She's a prominent socialite known for hosting lavish soirees. We've got Oliver Pemberton, the ambitious antiquarian, and Harriet Jennings, a museum employee. All right, I didn't specify where they were, who they were, what they needed to do. I was very general in my prompt, but that's what I wanted first. I wanted to see what it could come up with. I could also ask it to give me 10, a list of 10 people, and I could take some of that information and condense it down, right? I don't have to stick with that one or those 3 people. I could take what chat wrote and use that to create other characters or ask for more. Here's another prompt. Write a short introduction for my blog in a friendly, conversational tone, encouraging readers to stay tuned for my new writing series or on productivity tips. You can take chat and ask it to create in a specific tone, which is wonderful. Sometimes I do that for President Obama, and it's hilarious, and I'll send those emails to my friends. But let's see, for President Lincoln. My esteemed friends, if it please you, lend an ear to a matter most practical. I come before you in the spirit of kind fellowship to unveil a new series of writings devoted to the worthy pursuit, increasing our daily productivity. In these changing times, we are called to wrest what we can from each waking hour, and I shall endeavor to share modest counsel, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, it does capture the period of that time, which is great if you're like working on a very tone-specific type character, because that can help you so much. One of the best ways to refine your prompts is through multiple interactions with the AI. You can adopt a simple cycle like draft the prompt, then analyze AI's response, refine the prompt, and then repeat. Very simple. Each iteration reveals what works and what needs more clarity. So let's go for an example here. Let's do write me a fantasy story. That is so vague. Who knows what we're going to get? It already offers a few suggestions, right? So let's just leave it to its own devices, which is ridiculous and crazy, and I hope nobody does that except for the fun of it. So let's see. It took a few seconds. Oh no, I should have told it to do a certain number of words so it wouldn't go crazy. Oh my gosh. So here we go. Just write me a fantasy story. And it did. A captivating fantasy tale requires a vivid imagination and playful spirit. Okay, Silver Light of Ascora. A shadow summoned. So it's following a structure. Mysterious allies, the grain realm, the guardian and the source, into the deep vaults, a renewed dawn, and then epilogue. Thank you. That's amazing. Oh my God, that's way too much. But let's say that this isn't where I wanted to go at all, and I'm going to now do a new iteration on the same story because that just really wasn't what I wanted. So I'm going to ask it to write a 300 word. Okay, I changed my command up, or my prompt up, to write a 300-word fantasy story about a lonely alchemist who discovers a magical formula in an abandoned library. Focus on their internal conflict and set in a mountainous winter setting. All right, so now I've got a specific iteration for this command. Crafting the tale. So this is AI kind of talking to me, and this, I've just noticed it doing this, and I love it. I can carry on conversations with AI. It's very fun. Well, okay, so here's our outline. Crafting the tale. It says, I'm thinking about the lonely journey of Affluin, who's been exploring a mountainous, snowy region. The alchemist, more at ease with his tools than people, stumbles upon a hidden magic formula in an abandoned library. Thank you. Perfect. I'm working on the journey, detailing the movement, discovery. He's mapping it, uncovering hidden knowledge, gathering and mixing, setting the scene, piecing it together, poring over every line, weighing the decision, crafting redemption, navigating the challenge, crafting a path. Okay, taking a closer look. So remember, I asked for 300 words, and here it is. It outlined all of this. It figured it all out. So now I could take one of these and say, let's switch that up, or let's change that, and it would give me a new iteration of this. But I'm thinking that we might need a little more action. Ethwellan trudged through the pass, cloak whipped by howling winds that carried stinging flecks of ice. The mountains loomed overhead, jagged spires merging with the sky of endless gray. For months, the alchemist had lived in solitary isolation, forging potions by candlelight with only the echoes of her regrets for company. Oh, this sounds very lonely. She had come here seeking answers, to purge the guilt that weighed on her heart with a disastrous experiment claimed, when a disastrous experiment claimed a dear friend's life. All right, yeah, great. She's got some backstory. But you know what? I'm going to ask as we iterate for this. Now I'm going to say, using the same setup, keep this story under 600 words. You see how I can keep iterating and playing? Crafting 10 tension-building moments and a mysterious creature, and a touch of dialogue and suspense, all within 600 words. Again, it's going through, crafting narrative, constructing narrative. All right, this is it thinking. I like this. It's really thinking. So below are 10 potential moments to heighten tension and action in the story, The Lonely Alchemist in the Wintry Mountain. Each moment builds from the established setting. So I love that. So we could play with some of these, right? Strange footprints. Ooh, lantern flickers out. Rumbling avalanche. The frost stalker's glimpse. That's the creature. Pages stir to life. Nice. Frozen vials, sudden collapse, haunting whispers, cornered by the beast, cinematic confrontation. So we might choose all of these. We might choose a few. We could take some of these as the seed of something more. Awesome. And you can see how just iterating commands helps us craft more and more as we get deeper and deeper into it. It's really important to ask follow-up questions. You can treat AI like a very knowledgeable, helpful assistant. And after the prompts, if you're looking for information or it gives you something that interests you, ask clarifying prompts. For instance, in this story, AI suggested that the backstory was our alchemist was up here because she was healing over this guilt from her friend that was killed. Let's ask about that. Please, library. Yeah, let's see what AI has to say about that. She seeks redemption or a cure in the abandoned library, haunted by the guilt from her friend's death. Once an apprentice with a tragic past, seeking redemption or a cure in an abandoned library driven by internal conflict and guilt from a disastrous experience. Great. I always love internal issues, that conflict and guilt really drives your characters. Not always a recluse, nor did she always dwell among snow-capped peaks. In her youth, she studied under a renowned master alchemist in the bustling city of Havrenport. There she was admired for her keen intellect and delicate touch with rare ingredients. Great. Okay, so I've got some nice backstory. I could keep going, right? For something that I like, I don't have to keep any of this. I can delete it. I can not use it. I can ask for more information. I can also ask for an outline, so we can experiment with prompt formats. And don't be afraid to experiment. So let's ask for some bullet points or outlines or a character sketch. Outline request: create an outline for a 5-chapter novella featuring the Lonely Alchemist, with each chapter focusing on a new discovery. Great. Whispers in the wind. We've got all these key points. Chapter discovery: stumbles upon the library's ruined entrance. Great. Okay. Echoes the discovery: partially intact scroll referencing Viridia's embrace, a legendary formula rumored to heal mortal wounds. Ah, cool. Okay. Froststalker revealed. Glimmering crystals embedded in the walls, possible catalyst needed for brewing the elusive potion. Their faint green glow suggests magical properties. Okay, brewing. Initial proven. The potion proves unstable, bizarre phenomenon. All right, crucial piece of knowledge missing: the damage scroll. Must be found. Great, sacrifice and redemption. All right, so each of these has exactly what I asked for, and it's done in this chapter with key points, and that's great. That's nice. Keeps things organized, right? Um, so you can merge the best elements from multiple AI responses, and sometimes the first answer has a stellar opening line or some really great information, but follow-up answers have better character development information. So feel free to take this information, copy, paste, and put it together. Of course, that's work, but writing is work. Don't just use it directly from AI, because that's where we start running into trouble with the ethics and creating stories that people don't want to read, or that don't feel um, that don't feel like they're written by humans. And trust me, we can tell. Your perspective is part of what makes your voice so unique, and that's what we're looking for. The way you put words together, the words that you use, the way you create the world, the way in which you present it, that's what matters. That's what we're looking for. Whether you're writing fiction or nonfiction, your unique viewpoint is what connects with the readers. And AI cannot replace your creativity or authenticity, but it can certainly help amplify it. So by mastering the art of prompt writing, you'll transform AI from a novelty into a powerful creative partner that helps you write faster, explore new ideas, and sharpen your craft without losing the personal touch that makes your writing uniquely yours. I want to take a minute to look at the future of AI in writing and filmmaking, because I'm an indie writer, screenwriter, filmmaker, grant writer, and these tools I've discovered are vitally important to me. We're seeing tools that can assist with everything from brainstorming to polishing final drafts, to getting feedback, special effects for films, and advertising purposes, and so much more. This is a great time to start learning about AI and how you can benefit from it. It's also important to continue learning. So new tools and features and updates appear daily. Staying curious and experimenting with different platforms will help you discover workflows that truly empower you. And finally, embrace the collaboration. AI is not here to eclipse your craft, but to enhance it. By blending AI's efficiency with your own artistry, you become a stronger, more adaptable writer, ready to thrive in the evolving landscape of storytelling. AI programs worth investigating. These support advertisers, filmmakers, writers with pitch decks, trailers, and even films. And I'll review these specifics in future workshops or trainings. Got something out of today, and you want to go deeper into using AI in your creation process. I'm working on my AI Enhanced Writers Masterclass. I am going to take you through the process of going from idea to outline, creating characters and character development, scene crafting and dialogue, revisions and editing. We're going to go into AI and feedback and getting feedback from others, pitching and marketing, so pitch decks, logline synopsis, and bonus material. I want to talk about cross-medium adaptation and how we can use AI to work with that. So this masterclass is still undeveloped. If you want to provide feedback, I would appreciate it, and get on my list if you're curious about it when it comes out. Just email me, ifaarevolution@gmail.com, and put in the subject line AI Masterclass. Thank you all. Go out there, get it done, play around, don't be afraid. Remember, the scariest moment is always just before you start.